All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We hear the phrase return on investment thrown around constantly. ROI this, ROI that. Usually people are talking about stocks, real estate, or business metrics. But today, we are completely abandoning that standard definition. Instead, we're looking at something much, much more profound. We are focusing entirely on how to invest in the single most important asset you will literally ever own: you. It's time to master your return on yourself. The source material we're looking at gave us 15 disparate pieces of brilliant advice on personal growth. To make this super actionable, we've organized those ideas into 6 core pillars: the return on yourself, expand your knowledge, broaden your horizons, optimize your output, build financial independence, and finally, master time and self. So let's kick things off with our first overarching pillar, the return on yourself, or shifting the paradigm. Look, this is the absolute foundation, because at the end of the day, no one else can make you rich, fit, or smart. That's on you. So what exactly is ROU? It's the positive return generated on your life through channeling your passion, hunger, and desire for self-change. The source highlights a pretty harsh truth here. Your life only feels cheap when you think investing in yourself is too expensive. If you balk at spending $15 on a book, or say $250 on a course that could literally hand you a $1 million idea or totally shift your perspective, well, you simply haven't grasped the ROI of you yet. And that mindset shift leads us right into pillar 2, expand your knowledge. This is all about building up your internal foundations. To actually execute that mental upgrade, the very first thing you have to do is unlearn that old school mentality where reading was just forced homework you got graded on. Forget that. Read what you love until you actually love to read. Take courses to add permanent real-world tools to your toolkit. Learn a new language. Imagine walking into a restaurant in Italy and confidently ordering in Italian. It totally changes your inner circle and your cultural appreciation. And finally, teach. The source calls your brain a wisdom palace, and teaching forces you to rationalize and permanently cement all that knowledge you've built up. Moving right along to our third pillar, broaden your horizons. Once that internal foundation is rock solid, you have to look outward to external inputs. Because your network and your physical location quite literally dictate your net worth and your worldview. And when we talk about external inputs, there's a really stark contrast you have to be aware of. On one hand, you have ideological bubbles and echo chambers. It's a total trap of stagnation that happens when you only hang out with people who think, vote, and consume the exact same content as you do. On the other hand, accelerated growth happens when you expose yourself to entirely new concepts. You've got to talk to interesting people from completely different backgrounds, or better yet, find a mentor. Basically, never be arrogant enough to think you've got it all figured out. 10 hours. This is a magic number when it comes to personal growth. The source explains that being just a 10-hour plane ride away completely shifts your worldview. Suddenly, new customs, new traditions, even entirely new concepts of karma come into play. The farther you travel, the less self-centered you become, simply because you realize the world spends perfectly fine without you. But there's a massive catch here. Don't fly 10 hours just to be a tourist hanging out at a familiar Starbucks or McDonald's. You have to be a true traveler. And this need for fresh external input, it absolutely applies to creativity too. You must actively exercise your creative muscles by exposing yourself to art and beauty. The source recommends checking out brilliant shows like Netflix's Abstract or Chef's Table. Coming face-to-face with that level of creative storytelling actually trains your brain to connect dots differently. It's like turning up the dimmer switch in a dark room. It drastically increases your value as an innovative thinker. Let's see how this momentum builds into our fourth pillar, optimize your output, where we cover your environment and your body. The sheer danger of neglecting your health really cannot be overstated. There is a massive night and day difference between running on 95% brain capacity, fully rested, fully nourished, versus running on 3 a.m. Red Bull fumes. The source bluntly reminds us that bad health isn't just a right now problem. It's simply an invoice coming your way in the future. You are essentially stealing health from your future self to use today. You absolutely must invest time and money into nutrition and sleep to reap the incredible benefits of a fully functioning brain. But hey, it's not just your physical body, it's your environment too. Optimize your physical space to bring order to the chaos. It provides a massive, immediate boost to your time management. And equally important in today's world, clean up your digital space. Your social media profiles are basically the new emperor's clothes. People judge appearances, and you are totally kidding yourself if you think they don't. It's time to delete those old headstand keg chug photos from last summer, polish up your LinkedIn, and watch the professional opportunities actually start rolling your way. Now, here is a really bold rule from the source on optimizing your output: 70%. Early on in your journey, you should be reinvesting at least 70% of your residual income right back into better equipment and tools. Why? Because these are deductible expenses that allow you to dramatically increase the quality of your work or just do it so much faster. Seriously, don't waste your precious time trying to fix trivial, frustrating issues that can be solved just by throwing a little bit of money at a better tool. Which perfectly bridges the gap to Pillar 5, build financial independence, or creating value. Because personal growth is awesome, but it really needs to translate into actual, tangible freedom. So, how do we create that value? By selling. Hands down, one of the best ways to grow as a person is to try and sell something. It breaks down into 4 really straightforward steps. 1, figure out what to sell. 2, figure out exactly who to sell it to. 3, learn how to communicate with them. And 4, deliver and close the deal. Practicing the art of selling is incredible because it essentially forces all of your soft skills to seamlessly combine. If you can master this, it translates to almost every single other area of your life. But to hit true financial independence, you have to build a separate income stream that isn't completely dependent on you physically clocking in. You just can't trade time for money forever. The source highly recommends these 3 essential books to build out your ultimate toolkit: The 4-Hour Workweek, The $100 Startup, and The Parable of the Pipeline. Read all 3 of these to figure out exactly how to build a system where your money finally starts working for you. And finally, we arrive at our 6th pillar: master time and self, which is truly the final frontier of personal development. This pillar deals with the absolute highest level of resource management: introspection. You have to practice introspection to drop those heavy, dragging anchors of the past. Imagine getting to a point in your life where your only real worries are trivial things happening right now in the present. Furthermore, you've got to stop bringing in new issues by saying yes to things you know deep down you don't actually want to do. Stop living for other people. Clearing out that baggage is a fundamental, non-negotiable step toward true calm and happiness. The source offers this really brilliant golden nugget regarding the delicate balance between investing time and investing money. Early on, when you might not have much wealth built up, you absolutely must heavily invest your time to get ahead. That's just the reality. But eventually, there has to be a flip. Once you have the resources, you must proactively choose to invest your money in order to buy your time back. You might look to other people like you're overpaying for services, but really, you're buying the most precious commodity in existence. Because it all boils down to this harsh, undeniable reality. You'll probably run out of time before you can run out of money. Let the profound weight of that statement just sink in for a second. It can be super difficult to grasp early on in your journey, but prioritizing your time over everything else is the ultimate sign that you have successfully mastered the return on yourself. Which leads us perfectly to our final provocative thought for today. How many of these investments do you actively pursue? After walking through these 6 pillars, from completely unlearning your old school reading habits to aggressively buying back your own time, it's time to hold up a mirror. Are you actively increasing your return on yourself? Think about exactly what you can change today, right now, and then get out there and do it.